It's time! You're listening to the Semi-Casual MMA Show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! Welcome back to another episode of the Semi-Casual MMA Show. I'm your host, Jared Brosnan. After watching a UFC London card filled with some incredible finishes, I figured it's only right that we have one of the best up-and-coming knockout artists in the game. He's an undefeated welterweight coming off a 44-second knockout at Bellator 276. Please welcome American Top Team's Roman Faraldo. How you doing today, Roman?
Chilling, my man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Why don't we start off with your performance most recently? How you feeling about it?
I'm excited that I was able to knock a dude out with a jab, but unfulfilled because, the fight only lasted 44 seconds, and I know I got plenty more left in me, so I'm ready to go again.
Yeah, so that was actually going to be one of my first questions. Did you know that you knocked him out immediately with that jab? It seemed like you didn't want to jump right on him, but the ref had you do it.
Yeah. I knew the fight was over as soon as I like it. It's a different type of jab, man. I'm not just saying that to make myself sound big headed. Like I cracked him really hard, and he was coming into it, so it was a bit of a collision, and my first reaction to it was his arms. If you look at it, his arms he had no sense of balance or equilibrium, and I knew it was over before I jumped on him.
So even though I know you said you wanted to get back in there, it's got to feel good to just get out of a fight with no damages, be able to get right back in there, get right into training camp if you want to do that, right?
100%, man. I mean, it's never a bad thing to leave a fight untouched. And yeah, definitely, got a paycheck, got to go hang out with my family, celebrate. Definitely relief of all the nerves. Anybody can tell you anything. There's a lot of nerves going into a fight. If you don't have any nerves, you might be a sociopath. But it's good to come out with the W, and like you said, just get right back into it.
So, do you think at this point in your career, it'd be more important for you to get those highlight reel finishes or just to get that more time in the cage?
I think it's a bit of both, man. You can't. I mean, you definitely need to go out there and you need to put on a show. We're athletes, and our job is to win. But at the same time, the reason why we get paid is because it's entertaining. So we got to go out there and put on a show. I want you guys, I want everybody to watch my fight and be like, I never want to miss another fight again because that was amazing. But at the same time, too, also getting the experience, getting the time in there is big too. It's crucial, especially as you move up in the rankings, the guys are going to get better. So, it's good to have that experience.
So this past fight, it was obviously you knocked him out with a jab, quick finish, but you have a number of crazy finishes on your record, including, in my opinion, one of the top 3 knockouts of last year. What was it like to get a viral knockout like that one?
A little bit surreal. I knew it was it's big, but you don't know how big until it actually happens, and then your friends are calling, texting you, bro, you're on ESPN, bro. I remember as a kid, all we used to do was top 10 plays. That was the biggest thing we did as kids. So to actually be there and be on the reel was amazing. It was pretty epic. I'm excited to do it again though. I'm trying to obviously one up it. If I can, I got number 4, which I was pretty pissed about. But I'll get number 1 here. I'll get top 1 for sure.
There you go. Well, I mean, it wasn't the first time you knocked a dude out with the flying knee, and I know that you actually did it on the exact same day a year later, and I think it was Jorge's birthday on that day, was it not?
Yeah, pretty cool. I know. I told Georgie that too. I texted him. I was like, bro, I think it's mine now, dude.
No, that was incredible. But do you now feel the sort of pressure to create moments like that? Since you had, like you said, one of the knockouts that got on that Sports Center top 10, that got you that viral pop, definitely gave you some more eyes on your work. Do you feel that pressure when you go in there trying to make a finish like that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel pressure, but I don't think it's from necessarily oh, my fans want me to do this, or it's more so myself. It's pressure from myself, just trying to, in a sense, one up myself, man. I'm always trying to do something bigger and better. And
I think we lost you for a second there, Roman.
You got me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone connected to random Wi-Fi.
No, don't worry.
Yeah, I had to turn it off. But no, man, I think it's just just trying to one up myself, man. I'm my biggest critic, so the pressure is always from internal, it's never external. I'm always trying to one up myself and do something bigger and more spectacular. So it's like for me, it's like maybe getting on this Dublin card in June with my dude Johnny and doing it on the main card, doing a flying knee on the main card, or spinning back fist or Superman punch or something that's just stands out that shows like, wow, this guy's on the next level.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that you want to be on the main card, but it was clear when you and your teammate Cody Law fought on the prelims that arena was already getting some fans in there, and you can't say that a lot for a lot of the fighters that fight on the prelims, especially in Bellator. So how did it feel just to get that energy of the crowd back? I know it's been a tough time with COVID, just not having full capacity with fans. What did it feel like to be back really in front of a crowd?
Oh man, I loved so like our last card in Hollywood or like at the Hard Rock, we had fans and it was amazing, man. The energy was awesome. And I loved it. I obviously fighting in the backyard and just fighting for the fans, you got and everybody in there. It makes you want to perform. And obviously, man, me and Cody, we've been fighting back to back these last two cards, and I think it's working. I called my shot last time. He called his shot this time. And I was telling Abe like he's got to keep this this train going. Me and him fucking crushing it. So, but yeah, and it's good too. You come out there on the prelims. You might want to be on the main card, whatever. I'll take it out as it is. But being on the prelims, being able to go out there and basically start the prelims off and like put on a show and get the crowd roared up and ready to go is job well done.
Yeah. And you mentioned that Cody Law actually had that prediction ahead of time, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Something I've never seen before, someone being able to predict the exact finish and the exact time. Did you know about that prediction ahead of time?
I didn't, but I immediately got it. Like he was like went to the back. When I went to the back, there's a note on where all his gear was. And he's like, dude, I wrote it down. And it's pretty cool to see. It's like, my dude just did that. Like that's, you talk about calling your shot. That's, you can't call a shot more than he called a shot.
Yeah, he got that perfectly. I mean, that was just crazy to see. I know I had Cody on the show a couple weeks ago before the fight. So fighters that come on the semi-casual MMA show are undefeated as of right now. So let's hope we can keep that train rolling.
100%.
So why don't we turn it now to where you train at American Top Team? What has it been like working with those guys, training under Mike Brown and so many of the biggest names in the sport?
It's been awesome, man. It's been it's been, from as far as my career standpoint, it's so beneficial. Just in every asset too. Me becoming a more well-rounded martial artist and just becoming more confident in my own ability. It's one thing when you believe in yourself and you can do it, but you might not have necessarily the right guys around you or that like level, that caliber of fighter around you to push you. And then you put yourself, the place is a Shark Tank, man. You put yourself in a room with a bunch of killers, top of the heap. And then now your belief is put to the test. I believe I could do this. And then it's put to the test and you show yourself, no, I can do this. And it's reassuring more than anything, the reassurance of okay, I can really do this, and I can perform with the best at the top level. Is that I think that was the most beneficial thing for me.
Mm-hmm. And when you first got there, were you starstruck at all by all the big names that were there?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm still a fan. I'm a fan of a lot of guys in the gym. I walk around like, "What's up, dude?" And I think they just think I'm being friendly. A lot of guys think I'm just a friendly guy. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm fanboying it out. But there's a lot of guys that I grew up watching in the gym, and that I now I share the mats with, and it's been surreal, man. The dream and the passion the journey it's taken me on, it's coming full circle now. And, I'm just riding with it, man, riding the wave. I'm loving it.
That's awesome. And so who've been the guys that you've been getting the most work in while you've been in the gym?
Well, I would say for this last camp, it was Johnny Eblin was probably my main training partner. Johnny Eblin and Bo Nichols were my two big guys that I was working with more than I went up to Penn State and worked with Bo for a couple weeks. And when I came back, it was Johnny, and then helped Austin out for a little bit with his fight with Musasi. And I'm trying to think, some of the Russian guys, Magomedov. My dude, I can't even pronounce his name. I feel really bad, but my dude Jocko, Sabat is always a grinder for me, and Sid, But I'd say probably Johnny and Bo were I got the most work with those guys, and it's awesome for me to work with those dudes because of the wrestling, their caliber of wrestling, and obviously Johnny's number one in the world. He's not just a wrestler; he's a true mixed martial artist. So when I get work with them, I feel like on point.
Yeah, and then I just got to ask, because it's been in the news in the last couple of days, one of your training partners, the whole Jorge situation. What are your thoughts on what went down a couple of days ago, or just about the fight in general a couple of weeks ago?
I don't know all of it. You always got to be careful. Like, there's three sides to every story. There's his, theirs, and what actually happened. I get kind of weary about like commenting on shit like that, but my personal opinion, with the whole thing is, not necessarily smart to do it in a public place. I mean, if you are gonna sucker the guy, maybe do it in the back alley so nobody sees you. But and I if I do some dirt, you don't want to be putting it out there. But I hope everything works out for George, man. I know I could imagine, like, again, even if I'm putting myself in his shoes, full circle, I can imagine losing my shit too. Excuse my language, losing my mind too, and just seeing the guy, especially all the trash talking back and forth, and talking about his family and ethnicity and religion, whatever. It's just unnecessary in a sport. There's entertainment, and then there's crossing the line. I definitely believe that Colby crossed the line multiple times. He's a multiple time line crosser. Like, he's a multiple time offender, and I'm just surprised it hasn't happened sooner to that guy. He has a lot from in the business. That guy does not have a lot of friends, if any. And, that's kind of what happens, man. I hate to say it, but you're dealing with people who there's a level of respect you give across the board to people, to fighters, military. These people these aren't civilians. So you're going to talk trash to this guy who's proven himself to get down, not just in the ring. I think it was inevitable. I just, as a friend of George, I just wish he would have went about it a little more tactical.
Yeah, well, hopefully everything works out well in that situation. But just to bring it back to you a little bit, have there ever been any times in any of your professional fights or amateur fights where things have gotten personal for you?
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, I had, and what's funny is that one kind of came full circle too, because I had beef with a dude. I wouldn't even call it beef, man. He called me out. I'm not gonna throw any names out there, but I had a dude call me out when I was in Ami trying to fight me. And I had him and his buddies talking shit to me and my family at weigh-ins, and it got me fired up, man. It got me really fired up, and going into the fight, I was pissed. And you've seen it in my performance. I went right at him, and that fight ended within a minute. And now, ironically, we're training partners. So, but it's like, coming full circle, it's just like, just be careful what you say, man, because, the guy running his mouth usually comes back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah. And I think that, especially in the fight game, it's very clear how much the mental side of it can affect anyone's performance, sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse. So do you think that as you keep going throughout your career, and as the promotional side of fighting becomes more of a thing for you, do you think that it'll be hard for you to manage your emotions towards the person that you're fighting?
No. I feel like as it's gone along in my career, I've, my maturity as far as like career base has grown. And I'm able to recognize things, when people are trying to push buttons, and, you just become more aware of what's going on. And, I would be lying to you if I think that I'm never going to come across somebody who's going to talk, run their mouth. I think it'll happen. But like, for me, it's just like my go-to answer at that point is, okay, I'm going to break your face now, you know, you know, it's, you run your mouth, I'm going to go out here and break your face. So it's like, you're just being aware of what they're doing and not trying to feed into it, because again, too emotionally, if you get too emotionally invested, it can affect your performance, and not allow you to fight with a clear mind, or, cloud your judgment. So it'll happen, but I think when it does happen, I'll be ready for it.
Definitely. And then while we're on the theme of the mental side of fighting, congratulations. You recently welcomed a baby girl into the world.
Yeah,
How
man.
has
Thank you.
becoming a father changed your mindset towards fighting, if at all?
It's been patience, big thing, patience. It's crazy, how much you gotta like, fighting it for me has always been like, go, 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 go. And it's like having to take a step back from that, and being able to like actually visualize, like, all right, let's work smarter here. And that's where I feel like it's helped me as far as like my fighting side. But, just being a dad, and obviously, that father mentality of like, nobody will ever do anything to my daughter, or nothing will ever stop me from giving her the best life possible. It's definitely a motivating factor. And it's been amazing, man. I mean, I feel like I got that grown man strength now overnight.
Dad strength there.
Yeah, but overnight, man, it's crazy. But and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving being a dad. And I mean, you ask any dad, their kid's the best in the world. But I think my little girl is the greatest kid in the world. So it's pretty cool, man. It's been a crazy 8 months, and I got my whole life ahead of me with her. So I'm excited.
Well, like I said, congratulations on that one. And I want to ask you a little bit of a different question now.
Yeah.
So if you were to pick any MMA fighter, past or present, that would be your dream fight, what would that fight be?
I think it'd be GSP, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think GSP, just because, I think when I look at the welterweight division as a whole and how it's developed, I think he's the GOAT, man. He changed the game a lot. He was a karate guy or taekwondo guy. I can't remember which one. I think it was karate, and literally switched his whole game into wrestling. And you've seen the dominance that wrestlers have had in the past, decade of the sport. And how, especially at the top of the heap, the wrestlers, you have to have wrestling backgrounds. And he used that. He went from a striking background to a grappling, like a dominant grappling background, and what he's more known for now than anything. And yeah, I think he did it. I think he did it better than anyone, as far, the winning streak, how he dominated, and to be able to even go up and beat Bisping at 85 for a title. Granted, he didn't defend it, but I don't care. Bisping's a legend, dude. And yeah, he'd be the fight. Him or Kazmak. I think those guys, those two are like, when I see Kazman, I think he's going to be at the top of the heap for a long time. He has the drive. He's really good. He has the pedigree behind him, the amateur pedigree, and he has the drive and the conditioning to, I think, outwork a lot of people. So you gotta, if you're fighting him, you gotta be prepared more than anything, but you gotta have the heart. That guy's going to come and try to steal your soul. So I like that he's going to get the best out of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fight I would love to see one day. There's no way that leaves the first round, that's for sure. But
that's a war, brother. That's a war.
No, that would be great. But so just to wrap things up here, just want to ask, what is your ultimate goal in the sport of mixed martial arts? Where do you see yourself going throughout the rest of your career?
Bellator welterweight champ, UFC welterweight champ, making a run for the middleweight title. If my dude, somebody I'm training with, doesn't have the belt at that time, and retiring undefeated, and 2 promotional champion, Hall of Famer, and having a life set up for my family, and then being able to maybe hop in the commentary, the commentary booth, and talk my shit.
There you go. Then no one could ever forget about what you did if they put you in the commentary.
Exactly.
Well, all right, man. Well, when can fans expect to see you back in the cage?
Nothing set in stone yet, but I think we're leaning towards Dublin in June. I'm trying to get on that card. If I can make that happen, I will. I might even get vaccinated for it if they make me. Maybe.
And are there any names that you'd like to call out in the top 10? I see there are a lot of guys in that top 10 that don't have fights booked right now.
Yeah, you got maybe. I haven't, I'll be honest with you, I don't know of any guys that, like, if I'm being totally honest, I don't really look at anybody who's fighting, or when they're fighting, or when their last fight is. I just kind of show up and fight. But yeah, man, maybe I don't really know of anybody in there, but I'd be down to fight anybody right now.
I mean, I think it would be a crime if they don't give you a top 10 guy next. I thought you should have gotten it after your last fight, but
I think so too. I think there, if I can indulge some information, I think they'll give me somebody in the top 15. If not, there, that's on them, but I hope they do. I'm looking for the challenge. So, anybody needs a fight in Dublin, let's go.
Well, we'd love to see you on that card. I might have to fly out to Dublin to go see that. But
let me know, cuz we're flying private nowadays.
Yeah. There you go. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show here, Roman. It was great talking with you, catching up, and best of luck in the rest of your career. I'd love to have you back on the show again, and let's keep the semi-casual MMA streak undefeated, huh?
100%, man. Appreciate you.
All right, there we go. Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Take care.